So qualifying for the 2024 Mexico City Grand Prix has been concluded in Mexico earlier today. So let's have a look at which drivers did well around the Autodromo Rodriguez and which did not. So let's go with the 5 things that we learned from Mexico City GP qualifying today. So let's start with McLaren, but let's focus specifically on Oscar Piastri. Now, McLaren of course had a very good FP3. They were 1-2 in that session and very much looking like they could have been the team to get pole position today. It was not to be though, and especially for Piastri, who ended up falling foul of track limits. His initial time, I think, would have been enough probably to get him through to Q2, but unfortunately he was deleted for track limits and he was unable to set a faster time, and because of that he was all the way down in P17 and out in Q1 as a result. A really bad day for him when you look at his teammate who got all the way up into the top 5. But yeah, more on him very soon, Lando Norris. But yeah, very disappointing for Oscar Piastri today. Norris and McLaren very much hoping they could have at least backed up Norris, and especially if Norris is able to finish ahead of Verstappen tomorrow, the potential for Piastri to do the same would have definitely been there. But one crumb of comfort for McLaren and Piastri, I suppose, in a sense, is the fact that Sergio Perez was also out in qualifying 1 as well. He will line up alongside Oscar Piastri on the 9th row. He qualified down in P18 for his home race. Now, again, you can be the biggest critic of Perez around, but that is horrible. That is so sad for the guy. It's one thing to be underperforming throughout most of the season, but to be underperformed by that much in your home race, and it is not the easiest track to overtake around. Despite the whacking great long straight in F1 Rodriguez, it is not the easiest track to overtake around. So it'll be an interesting battle between those two as they try and climb into the points and salvage their weekends, but yeah, very much an uphill task to say the least. The third thing that we learned today is that Haas won the battle of the midfield. I've talked about Haas and RB in their big battle for 6th in the Constructors' Championship. Well, it is very much advantage Haas because both RBs were out in Q2, and that was partly because of Yuki Tsunoda's crash. He ended up crashing in the final sector on his second run in Q2, brought out the red flags as a result. He was in the bottom 5 zone because of that. He was in P12 and his teammate Liam Lawson was P11, was unable to complete his second lap. So Haas ended up both qualifying in the top 10. Interestingly, the first time that Haas have ever made it through to Q3, and it did so with both Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen in this one. So a very good day for Haas. They are looking like the team that is most likely to get that 6th place in the Constructors' Championship, which would be absolutely massive. And that's a huge amount of money, something like $100 million or something like that, just for finishing in their position, which is a lot on top of their already high prize money for just competing in Formula 1. So yeah, very happy for him, to say the least. The fourth thing that we learned, the championship battle again, it's advantage for Max Verstappen in this one. Verstappen qualifying in P2, Lando Norris qualifying in P3. It looked as though Norris might have been able to snatch pole position today, but his final sector was not the best, unfortunately for him. He lines up in P3, but to be honest with you, that might not be that bad of a thing. If you've watched our Fast Facts video, you will know that the run down from the first place down to turn 1, the first braking zone in Mexico, is the longest on the calendar. So starting in 3rd actually is not too bad. You're on the clean side of the grid. You've got a guy ahead of you on pole position is basically making a big hole in the air for you to go through and gain advantage from. So Norris very much has a chance of leading into turn 1 tomorrow, and I would not rule that out at all. But Max Verstappen is there ahead of him, and he's going to make it as difficult as possible for him to do so. And the final thing we learned is that Ferrari are again looking the fastest. Carlos Sainz with the pole positions today, up in P1. It was a repeat of the results from FP2, interestingly, with Sainz on top and Charles Leclerc in P4. Leclerc looking a little on edge through the S's section, losing a bit of time through that as a result, and then also going through the final sector as well. So he could have got pole position today, could Charles, but at least for Ferrari's sake, it is one of their red cars on pole position, and it's in the form of Carlos Sainz. But can he keep pole position? Well, we'll see. It is very difficult from P1. You almost don't want to start P1. You want to kind of start behind in P2 or P3. But let's see what happens with that. And those were the 5 things that we learned from Mexican Grand Prix qualifying today, guys. Let us know your thoughts about this session in the comments below. Who was your Mr. Saturday? Who was your man of qualifying today? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. And we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.